Welcome into Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, in theaters September 19th.
Oh, is it truly Christmas morning? It certainly feels that way. What's good, everybody? Welcome into your favorite daily morning sports and sports betting brand of record. We call it Coach and Company. We're live on the Stadium Network, Bally Sports Live, every single day, available in over 100 million homes. And today is what we call our busy season starting. It's 6 months of football, and it starts tonight in the NFL with one of the oldest rivalries in all of football. It is the Cowboys and the Eagles, and we have not seen this, meaning the Cowboys on the road at the Eagles to start a season, I believe, in over 50 years. It's been a really, really long time. So we got a ton to get to. Got the best crew that you could possibly have anywhere standing by. But a little housekeeping we got to handle, first and foremost. We are not leading into today with our best foot forward from yesterday. Mikey P took him off the show this morning. 0-2 yesterday. I'm kidding. We all have 0-2 days. Marky Model, 1-2. Big Chuck, he pushes. 6-3 was the final there. And Raphael, a 1-1. All right, our schedule today here at BTT Studios, absolutely slam-packed. Never forget, we've got 2 full hours. They're trusting us on Stadium and Bally Sports Live every single Thursday. It is the Coach and Bro Show at 11 a.m. Eastern Time to noon. The biggest topics in the world of pro wrestling. And then on Sirius XM, channel 156, every single weekday, it is Off the Ropes with your boy, the coach, at the same time on our Coach and Company YouTube channel. It is Weekday Wagers, and I've been told there is a surprise guest today. I will dig into that. And then never forget our BTT conversations, always on demand. Check out the latest one, Neon Chris. You guys got to check this out. This dude has been some of the biggest events ever and has the receipts and the pictures and the videos to prove it. All right. Now, we're going to be doing a ton of primetime content. You also get a separate episode, 5 to 10 minutes, every single weekday if you are an All-Star Premium member. Scan the QR code, join today, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. We're going to be doing a ton of primetime, but we're not going to schedule it. Just Monday nights is scheduled. Everything else will be TBA. All right. That is all of the housekeeping except for this. You gotta check out our brand new merch store. Chapel Bill is our featured merch item of the week. Scan that QR code. And if you get something and it arrives, take a picture, send it to us. We would love to feature you on the show and see that gorgeous merchandise on your person. All right, housekeeping is over. Coming up, we're talking Cowboys and the Eagles. We've got a brand new segment called No Filter with Phil McKagan, former NFL coach, and also full game preview coming up at the bottom of the hour. But do you hear that? Oh, the first doorbell of the NFL season, and my guys are ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, and if you're new to the brand, welcome. It is time to beat the books. Oh, and look what we've got today, boys and girls. Now, first and foremost, bottom right-hand corner, he's the man that goes by simply one name. Hello, Zeno.
Coach, gentlemen, good morning. It's a glorious Thursday. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and we handed out some winners yesterday. I did, at least. I mean, can't speak for the rest of the crowd, but
I know you are. I just got a call, actually, about that. They said, are you going to have winners today? Because you didn't have any yesterday. So I'll answer that call in a second. Now, this next man, he's the youngest member of our crew, and he actually lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as he goes to TCU. Young Peyton, what's the vibe like today as your boys are starting on the road?
Yeah, boys starting on the road. Let's go. I got a couple friends who actually, this is kind of weird, but they sent me their outfit for today. It's like a full-on Cowboys uniform. They sent me this last night. A couple of my boys, shout out to Alec, who sent me his his full-on outfit for today for school. Pretty weird, but yeah, full Cowboys uniform today for class.
Well, I would say that I've never heard of that before, but I have a video in my phone that I received yesterday from you know who, and it's head to toe. I'll release it in the next day or two, but it's embarrassing. Let's just say embarrassing. That gives you a little teaser.
Coach, was
Now,
Peyton running the TCU football Twitter account after they beat UNC? Because I saw shade being thrown everywhere.
I think he is.
I thought it might have been Peyton involved.
Now, Zeno, I did have to come back to you because you've done, you've been on ESPN radio for several years. You've done some of the biggest stuff, and you know all about promotion and timing, right? So on the day when the NFL season begins, and I'm knee deep, and I'm like, how do we have the best content possible? And then I get a text around 4 a.m. and said, hey, if you want to today, we've got an incredible guest on weekday wagers this afternoon. Nothing about the Cowboys, nothing about the Eagles. It's about this and the question mark with the guest. So, Zeno, if you saw a graphic like this, you would assume it would be somebody like, I don't know, Jerry Jones, somebody really big, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That would lead me to believe that there is some grand expectation to what is going to happen on weekday wagers. Daniel Greer's got something in his back pocket saying, wait for me.
Yep. Yeah, I felt the same way. And I know young Peyton did too. So, DG, would you like to reveal who the question mark is so we can all look forward to this afternoon show?
Absolutely not, Coach. You're going to have to let yourself just sizzle a little longer. You're going to have to wait. The people have to just kind of dampen their expectations just a little because there's not going to be revealed just yet.
Okay. All right. We'll move it on. Gentlemen, you saw our horrible day yesterday. So that means today is day one of our winning streak. And I love it because it's day one of the NFL season. So I have one very simple question for all of you. Who wants the smoke? All right, DG, hand went up first. All right, big boy, best bets. Let's go.
Let's start off with Jalen Hurts. And I'm not a big fan of Jalen Hurts, and I like his unders. So we're going to go with the under today of 18.5 completions. It's at minus 116. He had 19 or more completions in just 5 of 19 games the entire season last year. And if you're looking for stats, 26.3%. That's not good. Let's take the under here for Jalen Hurts completions. And then let's stay in that same exact game. But we're going to go on the other side of the ball. We're going to go with Kenneth Murray Jr. over 8.5 tackles and assists. It's plus 104. Now, Overshown, who is the middle linebacker for the Cowboys, he's out. He had 11 total tackles in the last matchup versus the Eagles. Linebackers feast because of the run game, because they keep everything short. I'm going to go with Kenneth Murray to go over 8.5 tackles and assists.
All right, very good. We'll also have some updates on lines when it comes to props at the bottom of the hour with my man Raphael. But Raphael, let me come over to you right now because I didn't even get to give you my favorite introduction of the entire company. Say good morning to our numbers guy for a reason. Raphael Esparza! Best bets. Raphael, go.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. My first one is going to Thursday night football. We're going to take Dallas Phillies. Both teams to score 20+ points. I know last year the Cowboys only scored 13 total points in the 2 games they played, but Dak Prescott wasn't there. He has a shiny new toy at wide receiver. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and wouldn't shock me if this one flies over. Both teams hit the 20-point mark. And then we're going to go to baseball. There's a great pitching matchup tonight that no one knows about. It's at 5:20. This game might be over before Thursday Night Football kicks off because Blake Snell and Paul Skeens are on the mound. Dodgers versus the Pirates. The Pirates are looking to sweep the Dodgers tonight. I like the first 5 under 3.5 runs, minus 120. Great pitching matchup.
Oh, Zeno likes that play. Coming off a 3-0 whitewashing Pirates over the Dodgers yesterday. All right, Zeno, you're clapping. I think you're going to be clapping for your own best bets. I'm coming to you next. Best bets, go.
I'm going to dip into the prop market, and I usually treat props like shopping for women's feminine hygiene products. I only get involved when somebody tells me to. Logan Allen here. Over 4.5 strikeouts. Allen has gone over this number in 4 of his last 5 starts, and only one of those starts was against a top 10 K rate team. Royals have the second highest strikeout percentage against lefties since the break. Don't overthink it, just fire. And then we'll get involved in Thursday Night Football. Cowboys plus 5.5 in the first half. This number's gotten way out of control. This is an overinflated market. What happens at the start of all these Thursday night openers? There's fireworks, there's videos, there's fanfare. One team is focused on football. The other team is celebrating. These Thursday night games and the openers tend to trend under. That favors the Cowboys, especially with a shaky defense. Give me Cowboys plus 5.5 first half.
You have become really good pinpointing these first half bets, whether it's football, whether it's baseball first 5. And I've learned so much in all seriousness. And tonight, that's a perfect analysis. And we'll get more into the game coming up in about 30 minutes. But there's going to be a lot of distractions going on at the beginning of the game tonight. That's just fact. All right, young Peyton, coming over to you next. Best bets. What do you got today, sir? Go.
First, we're taking Saquon Barkley's rushing yards because why wouldn't we? I mean, the Eagles are going to be up in this game. They're going to be running the ball in the second half, which is where we will see him get most of these. So I like him getting 100 tonight, but his number's at 94.5. I'll go over 94.5 rush yards. And we go back to the diamond and take the Brewers at minus 126. They got the hottest pitcher in baseball going today in Freddie Peralta, who's making the NL Cy Young Award a little bit harder of a decision. Yeah, Skeens has been incredible, but Freddie Peralta has thrown 23 scoreless innings his last 4 starts, 27 strikeouts in those last 4 as well. He's the best pitcher in baseball right now, and I'll stick with the trends. Give me Freddie P and the Brewers today on the money line.
6-3 last night, they beat the Phillies. They've been playing amazing baseball, and getting the Brewers at this number with this pitcher on the mound, can't beat it. Can't beat it. By the way, it's a 1:10 p.m. Eastern start today. Day baseball. Only 6 games today. No college football today. They're smart. They don't schedule against the NFL. All right. I believe, as I see that big old fat smile down in the right-hand corner, that our JTS play of the day has cashed, count them, 3 days in a row. Is that correct? You gotta be kidding me! What are we doing? What are we doing?
I wasn't even on mute.
You're gonna say that right now when the whole
I didn't click anything.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we can hear you now. We can hear you now. All right, Mark, you ruined the whole thing. Give me a 4th winner. I guess we'll take it. All right, go.
Let's go for number 4, and we're going to start with picking on the Golden State Valkyries, Janelle Saloon to get over 15 points and rebounds. Look, the Golden State Valkyries can seal up their playoff chances tonight. I love Janelle to have a huge night tonight at home, and we're going to pair that with Saquon Barkley. Lettuce just told you all the reasons he likes Saquon to go over 94.5. The model says that the Barkley's rush yards over 80 hits in 91% of the games he played last season. Put them both together, you get a plus 114, just as sports play of the day.
Wow, little synergy between King Lettuce and Marquee Model. All right, you want to be a part of JTS? You want to hear all of that? Scan that QR code. NFL 100 is the code. We're going to give you the first month for a single solitary $1. Can't beat that. All of the stuff is up and running. Remember, NFL, you can get the week of. College football, you got to wait till the day of. All right, we're just getting started. You can feel the vibe. 2 full hours on Stadium and Bally Sports Live on Thursday. Still to come in about, 5 minutes. He is ready. He is set. No filter. Phil McKagan joins the show for the very first time, former NFL coach, and he's going to break down everything the Cowboys and the Eagles are going through today from a playing perspective. Has nothing to do with betting. Then we're going to break down the entire game with me and my guys. Cowboys, Eagles for the season. Cowboys, Eagles tonight. All of that still to come. Where else would you want to be? Laugh a little, learn a little, educate, entertain. This is Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn. Live as always, Stadium, Bally Sports Live. All right, we get more best bets here right now. And I got to tell you, depending on how this does, Mark, we may or may not continue round the diamond now that football season is here. I don't want to put any pressure on you or the site. Is that fair?
No pressure at all, Coach.
I thought you were
No
going to say
pressure at all.
no pressure, no diamonds. I can't remember who used to say that. All right, Mark. What are our best bets today from JTS on the diamond?
We're going to start with one of your favorite plays, Coach, and that's a no-run first inning. We're going to take the Phillies and the Brewers. No-run first inning at minus 135. Look, Ranger Suarez is pitching for the Phillies. He's 8-1 Nerfy on the road. Freddie Peralta, 13-1 Nerfy at home. That's half the reason to love this play. The other half is the Brewers are the worst team in all of baseball at scoring in the first inning at home. I love this spot for both teams. Give me the no-run here. And then we're going to go with Houston Astro Mauricio Dubon to get at least a hit today at minus 135. Why a player prop? Because there's only 6 games in Major League Baseball, and I love this one especially. He's done this in 7 of his last 9 home games. He bats 9th, and he's facing Carlos Rodon. Since Zeno's here, I want to get the pronunciation correct. And there is no batter. So Dubon bats 9th, and there's no batter batting 2nd through 7th that has a higher than 200 batting average against Rodon. I love this spot. Dubon is 3 for 5 against Rodon with a 600 batting average. I love this spot, and that's your round the diamond.
Dubon and Rodon. Interesting. All right. Once again, for $1, you get the first month. And I'm telling you right now, the site, it's like a baby. And I want you to grow with it. But you get all of the models. You get all of the different tools in your toolbox. You get the advantages. There's cappers there, Mark, DG. It's a beautiful thing. We're honored to be partnering with you and your team over there. All kidding aside, Mark.
I appreciate it, Coach.
I tried to say that with a straight face. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. All right, we're back live. A brand new segment right now in 5 seconds on Stadium. Oh, look at that. I'm doing my best Jey Uso. Run it back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are back. It is Coaching Company Live here on Stadium, Bally Sports Live. And you know, we've only been doing this for a few months, but we are growing so fast. And part of the reason we're doing that is we have really smart people in the right positions. But it is truly an honor, all kidding aside, today to welcome back one of my favorite people in the entire world. He's an incredible football coach, formerly with the Bills, with the Chargers. He's done extensively in college at South Florida. He's been at East Carolina. He was at Colorado. And then his latest move was to the UFL as the offensive coordinator for St. Louis. But what is one of our models here at the show and at the brand? We want to make you smarter every single day. So every single Thursday, this man's going to come on and he's going to give you a coach's perspective, a playing perspective on that night's game or something happening over the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for a little No Filter. Oh, and look who is here. Nice and shiny, baby. Phil McKagan. You're looking great. You literally never age, big dog. What's up?
It's just how we do it. Black don't crack, brother.
That's always the case. All right, man. It is awesome to have you back. All we're going to do, we're going to have you here on Thursdays, some primetime games. But what I want you to do for us is break it down from a coach's perspective.
I love that.
Because there's so much, Phil, that fans don't know. And they don't know what it's like on a Thursday in the locker room. So let's start right there. For the Cowboys and Eagles, when they have the game all to themselves, what goes into getting ready for the season opener tonight?
Ooh, the season opener is a whole different animal. That's a Broadway premiere. I know we did the Detroit Lions and Chiefs game in 2023, but holy smokes, this one has national TV, has primetime implications, and if you don't win this thing, the narratives start, and they have extra time to kind of get you off the ground. Also, just understanding these teams get a month of preparation time to prepare for these teams. They have new schemes. Players are as healthy as they're ever going to be. There is some roster uncertainty, rookies, free agents, new coordinators, things like that. So there's a lot of guesswork, not a lot of film. So again, there's a huge opportunity for someone to establish himself tonight.
Yeah, all everybody's talking about is Saquon Barkley. What an amazing year he had last year. But he's so much more than that. What makes him such a good locker room guy?
Yeah, there's a lot there. Obviously, one thing from just an experience standpoint, he grabbed Shipley and he created a workout culture. So he's kind of developing these young guys. He's an avid chess player. He has a big vision outside of football. So my biggest advice to everybody is he's resilient, he's humility, and he has unbelievable self-awareness around him. So enjoy him while he's here. He won't be here long. I would expect him to be like a Barry Sanders type guy, a generational talent who's not going to just die in the saddle. This guy's going to be here about 5 more years. I'll probably talk about in his latest Amazon documentary that's actually directed by Martin Scorsese. So you're going to find out a lot more about this guy. He's a tremendous leader. No one has anything bad to say about him in New York or in Philly from a coaching or personnel standpoint.
He's been amazing. And the Eagles were amazing last year, winning the Super Bowl, obviously. But whenever that happens, you then have a tough schedule the next year. What have they done defensively to really get ready for what's going to be a really hard year on the field?
It's always a grind, especially when you're the number one team winning the Super Bowl. You're going to have a very difficult schedule. We understand that. What they do have is Howie Roseman. This guy just absolutely is on one of the biggest decade-long heaters in personnel in the history of the game, right? So obviously there's a youth movement in the secondary. We got Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who have been, the finalists for the Rookie of the Year on defense last year. So mark my words, this will be the best secondary duo for the next 3 or 4 years in the NFL coming up. All right, so they also brought in Josh Uche, unbelievable speed rusher off the edge, and signed Adoree Jackson. Great cover guy, great speed, top end, very experienced guy, kind of replaced that Slay type. With Nakobe Dean being out with a patella tendon injury, they drafted Jihad Campbell. Again, mark my words on this. This guy's a dog. Really edgy player, versatile, can play linebacker, can rush the passer. I'm really excited to see what he does tonight. And then just the breakout performances of those three, Jihad, Quinyon, and Coop DeVille. I think those three guys are going to have some unbelievable years. I'm really excited for those young players. And Howie Roseman is a G.
All right, we're going to get you out of here on this one. All the drama surrounding this game was about Micah Parsons. He is not going to be playing this game because he doesn't play for the Cowboys anymore. What kind of pressure is Dallas facing after all this drama in the offseason?
It's kind of a compartmentalized question. When you don't play the game and you have all these practices and lead up and the media in there, it's a pressure cooker and it's a big distraction. But these are alpha dogs that are playing for themselves and their own financial freedom. So they're going to go out there and play hard tonight with or without Micah Parsons. It does create opportunities for other guys. The biggest issue for me is that Dak's the highest paid player in the league. You lose Micah, so he has to perform at the $60 million a year salary, essentially, and that's the cap hit we're talking about. It's a huge percentage of the cap. Then we have George Pickens coming into the already talented room with CeeDee Lamb, so that's a group I'm really excited to see. The run game is questionable. If they can't run the football, then what we're going to see is Dak throwing the ball 40 or more times a game, which is not ideal from a coach's perspective, but it may be for some of you gentlemen. All right, so obviously there's some locker room shock when they traded Micah, all right, but now it's going to be dissipating, all right. Even Dak said it got personal between Micah and the front office. It's a distraction, and nobody likes those things leading up to the first game. They did give up 27.5 points without Micah last year, so I am concerned about that. And then again, like I always say in the South, we're fixing to find out.
We are fixing to find out. So you're going to be here every single Thursday, correct?
If you want me here, I could have got fired on my day off, like for stealing boxes.
Of course we want you here. And then we're going to be doing some primetime watch-alongs. It's going to be awesome. And all kidding aside, it's awesome to have you back on the show, man.
It's awesome to be back. I'll tell you, when we talked yesterday, it was like if you saw the first Transformers when Megatron kind of breaks out of the chains. I've been depressed. I've been down and out, losing that playoff game. We're 8-2, 80% wins. First time calling plays as a coordinator. I was in the tank. But then when you said, hey, we're talking NFL football, all of a sudden, I am Megatron. Let's go, Coach.
Well, it's awesome, man. All right, no filter every single Thursday. He is Phil McKagan. Can't thank him enough. Phil, we'll see you. All right, now, as we're starting to spin it forward, you heard all of that incredible information. Now, how do we turn it into what we do here at Coach and Company? It's time to bet the futures. All right, gentlemen, we get into it with the Cowboys. Zeno, I'm starting with you because right now, 7.5? 7.5? What are we doing? Cowboys season, go.
Dak Prescott is good enough for 7 wins on his own. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they won 7 games last year with him being out after week 6. So I understand Micah Parsons is a big loss, but there is a world where the sum of the parts of this defense is greater than the whole, and it's addition by subtraction. I've spoken to several people who have told me that Michael is not well liked in that locker room. And there may be a sense that with him gone, there's a little bit more camaraderie. They gel a little bit better. And for a defense that wasn't expected to be great, yeah, they might be even worse, but I have a hard time not going over this number. As much as the Giants have some things to get excited about, they're still the Giants. And the Cowboys aren't exactly playing a first-place schedule. So I go over 7.5.
Their schedule's not that hard at all. You're absolutely right. DG, this is your squad. I think Zeno might be onto something.
Yeah, if you look at this last year, 7-10, being with a backup most of the year, you have to say like they've gotten better on the offensive side of the ball, and that's really where it comes down to within the NFL. You do have the defense, but you can be, timely on your defensive side where you're getting the picks, right? The interceptions. And so you can flip a game depending on if you're taking chances. I think that they take some chances or they do a little bend, but don't break style type defense. And so either way, I think that they're set up to win enough games to at least get to 8.
And I think that Phil was onto something because I think a lot of people forget that on the offensive side of the ball, Peyton, George Pickens, if he's in the right mindset, this guy can be an all-pro. He has that kind of talent on the opposite side of C.D. Lamb. How much do you think and we'll get into those numbers on the other side, but how much do you think he'll affect the entire thing?
Yeah, he will definitely affect the entire thing, but you heard it from Coach Phil as well, saying that Dak, $60 million a year, he doesn't really have a choice. He has to go win you 8 games. And if you go through and nitpick the Cowboys schedule, there's plenty of winnable games in there, maybe 9 or 10 very winnable games. So Dak Prescott should win you 8 out of 10 of those very winnable games. But this is going to be a team that should go over this 7.5 number.
Yeah, I was shocked. Let's flip it over to the Eagles now and look at their season win total. They have, just looking at it, Zeno, an unbelievably hard schedule, and their number is very high. Your thoughts?
I would expect a little regression. It's really hard to win 12 games. And look, I mean, you have to ask the question right now, how many division games can they win?
Mm-hmm.
If the Commanders are improved, the Cowboys are still a problem, and the Giants' defense is expected to be one of the better ones in the league. It would 4-2 surprise anybody? I mean, 5-1 and 6-0 are two different worlds than 4-2 when it comes to trying to get to 12 wins. So I lean under here for Philadelphia. It'll be hard for them to be that good again. Saquon Barkley is going to have some production regression. He's not going to rush for 2,000 yards again. So especially with all the load on the tires, injuries may take over. Not that you're rooting for it. Well, I'm a Giants fan, so maybe for the Eagles.
Maybe a little bit.
But not anything serious, just enough to make it a couple of games, particularly the 2 times they play the Giants. But regardless, yeah, I think we go under this number here.
What about you, DG? Do you agree with Zeno?
Yeah, 12-5 is still hard to get to in the NFL, but if you look at, 11 wins, I would like to go under. People forget that they had questions around the head coach, but also the A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts debacle. All of that still can pop its ugly head if you start losing games.
Young Payne, I got about 30 seconds for you.
Yeah, it's the same old Eagles team. Expect another great year defensively from these guys. They were the best defense in the NFL last year as far as points allowed. And your big names on offense are still there. Going to be another great year for them, but 12 wins is a lot. I'm going to go under 11.5.
All right, let's piggyback quickly. Playoffs for either the Cowboys or the Eagles. Zeno?
Eagles will make the playoffs. Cowboys probably not.
I say let's go Cowboys and Eagles both make it this year.
Wow. Peyton?
I don't think the Cowboys make the playoffs. I think the Eagles do.
Okay. I agree with that, too. I think the Eagles do, but they got to get off to a really good start. I think tonight's going to play a lot into that. I know it's week 1 of 18, but I think tonight is very, very important. All right, we're just getting started on the Cowboys and the Eagles. On the other side, my guys will tackle specific props and the game itself. We'll look at all the numbers thanks to BetMGM. It is Coaching Company on day 1, presented by Afterburn right here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. Come on back.
Too easy.
Hello, mate. Wait a minute. You guys aren't real cops, are you? Oh, damn. When the solar flare hit, we lost our humanity. You saw what people did to the world burn. The monsters they became. If we're to rebuild, we have to hold on to every masterpiece of human achievement. Jay, you have a gift for acquiring treasures. And what would I be hunting down this time? Mona. The Mona Lisa? In all her motherfucking glory. Guessing you're my contact. We're headed to the worst place on the planet. There's nothing there but disease and warlords. Yeah, this is definitely a bad idea. The world is a gladiatorial arena. A worthy opponent is hard to find. I could have taken that guy.
You're welcome.
We just flew into a war zone. Jumped out of a plane for the first time. Got attacked by a tank. And all this for a painting? I don't get it. What's going on that everybody's willing to die for? I want our world back, Jake. From these agents of chaos. We got work to do. I love this song. They're all over us. How many tanks does this guy have?
This would be the end of day.
Oh, shit.
Welcome back to Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, in theaters September 19th.
We have crossed the bottom of the hour. Welcome back. If you're watching us live in the East, it's 10:32. It is 7:32 in the West, where I am sitting right now. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium and Bally Sports Live and everywhere the network is, available in over 100 million homes. Now, we've got a full schedule here today coming out of BTT Studios. Do not forget, immediately following this show, at the top of the hour, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, it's the Coach and Bro Show, the latest in the world of pro wrestling. Then at 2 p.m. Eastern, it is Off the Ropes. And then on our YouTube page is Weekday Wagers, more as they get you ready for the Cowboys and the Eagles tonight. Then you can also catch all of our content on demand. Now, if you want to become an all-star member, we're going to be doing a ton of premium content. Very affordable. Scan that QR code and become a member today. Then when you get into the chat, hit the like button and you'll have a little star next to your name. And then Kimberly will help you out from there, as she is our chat queen. Then do not forget, we want you to represent the brand. Our featured merch item, Chapel Bill. It's live right now. The next one, I can't even believe I'm going to say this, Model My Ass. It'll be a JTS special coming up next week. All right. I need to see my man Raphael, because tonight, game one, Cowboys on the road in Philadelphia. First time in a very, very long time that this will ever happen in the NFC. So, Raphael, I know we're looking at a lot of numbers right now. What things are moving for you?
Total's moving right now. Some books told me they're going to be moving it to 48 pretty soon. Everyone pretty much has 47.5, so keep an eye out for that. And then a couple books told me they're going to have minus 105 juice all day on the game. So shop around, get that minus 105. That's a huge thing, saving 10 to 15 cents when you're betting tonight's game. So minus 105 is huge. But a couple player props pretty much shocked me when I saw this. Dak Prescott passing yards. You know what it opened up a month and a half ago? 242 yards. Right now, it's 249.5. I don't know if maybe his new shiny toy Pickens is the big reason for that, but that's a big difference. And then Javonte Williams, Dallas running back, open at 27.5 rushing yards, now 34.5. If you think the Eagles are going to win this game, Dallas ain't going to be running. They're going to be throwing. 34.5 is a little bit too high for me.
All right. And I think Coach Phil just talked about that as well in his segment, that there could be some more passing than what we think, perhaps, especially if they get behind. All right, if you guys are watching on YouTube right now, Raphael will be in the chat alongside Mark with all of the Just the Stats sports stats. So any questions you have for both guys, put them in the chat. They'll answer them for you in real time. All right, I got to bring my guys back, DG, Peyton, and Mr. Zeno. We got to get in depth with this game. Guys, we just talked about the season, but what about game number 1? Here are the numbers. We're using them thanks to BetMGM. Zeno, you just heard Raphael talk about the total moving, but what about the entire game? I think you and I both agree. This spread, what was your words? Out of control?
Yeah, it's overrated. It's overinflated and out of control. Look, normally the under and the dog are correlated, right? Less points, spread favors the underdog. I think it's the opposite here. I think the over actually favors the Cowboys because that means that they are scoring, and they are scoring a lot, and their defense is going to give up a lot, which is why Raphael's telling you that a lot of people are playing towards the over in this game, which I agree with. I think it does go over. Now, the higher the total brings in a lot more variance. So, but when you're sitting here talking about a game that's over 48, which is a very key total here, and I'm getting 8.5, that means the Cowboys are scoring. So I'd look to a Cowboys team total. Cowboys plus 8.5 in the over.
Yeah, indeed. Gee, you guys will be on at 2 o'clock today on weekday wagers. It'll be interesting to see if any of these numbers are different in about 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we're starting to see that spread move 7.5, 8.5. And honestly, you're on both sides, right? Of the good side if you want to be a Cowboys bettor. I really think that this line, especially the first game of the season, it could be a little inflated. I love to take either, whether it's 7.5 or 8.5. I don't think that matters to me as much. I still think this is a touchdown win by the Eagles. So because of that, I'll take that spread for sure.
Yeah, so that's 2 for 2. What about you, young Peyton? What are we doing? 2 today. 2 today. All right, try it again.
Take a lap.
No, take a lap.
Just
take
start
a lap.
It's like remember the Titans. Just
yeah, sorry. Sorry. Are you there now?
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
Can't hear you. All right, we got to move it on. Drop out and come back in. I think something happened with your connection. All right, Zeno, we got to get into the quarterbacks. And here are the numbers according to BetMGM. We got 2 high-profile quarterbacks in Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. And this is as good as it gets when you're talking about big-name quarterbacks. What are you leaning into for either guy tonight?
I mean, I thought GG had a good look on the under for Jalen Hurts. Look, the biggest part of his game is running the football. And so I certainly understand why his completions would be down. But again, I agree with Raph and the fact that the passing yards are going to go over. I would look to, a spot where if you're under 250, I think you're in a good range here. Look, Dak Prescott in 13 games against the Eagles in his career has averaged 261 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in 13 games. So regardless of how good the Eagles defense is, Dak finds a way through it. These are known opponents. They're common opponents. I have to trust Dak here because there's no real other path to victory for the Cowboys unless it's on the arm of Dak Prescott.
I absolutely agree. I would go straight to that attempts, DG. Right now, 36.5. I'm with Zeno on that.
Yeah, I like the 36.5. I do think he's going to have to pass his team, whether they're in the at front or behind. There's no way they're going to be able to run the ball enough. I really like the pass completions. 23 completions isn't a big number. I know they're going to want to go and stretch the field a little bit, and I think that's smart. But they're also going to be able to hit unders, but also look for a guy we'll probably talk about here soon in his tight end. I think that he can be a guy that plays a little bit on the unders and get some of those completions.
Young Peyton? No, can't hear you now. Something's going on. Something's going on. All right, producer man, we got to take him off. Let's move on to the running back. Sorry, Peyton. Let's move on to the guys. And, of course, Saquon Barkley is going to be the featured guy tonight. If you would ask anybody walking down the street, who would you put on the other side of the graphic? How many would say Javonte Williams? They struggle when it comes to on the ground, Zeno. Give it to me.
Under Javonte, 34.5. I mean, well, look, put it this way.
You killed me.
Cowboys can establish the run, right? It's going to change the game dynamically, but I just don't see them being able to do it. and they will quickly eschew the run game for the pass game here and force the Eagles to play better in the secondary. Now, again, if Javonte Williams may be part of the passing game, right, and he may have some, a passing yards prop that I would look at, but because I don't think they're going to get him out of the game completely. But that said, this is a running back by committee approach here in Dallas. There's no real stud, and again, I think the path to victory is on the arm of Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I think that we all agree on that. And DG, as I come over to you, anytime you've got a number north of 90 for a running back, that's a really high number to play. This is 95 in week number 1. This is a crazy number, but maybe not for him.
Yeah, that 95.5, that scares me because, like, you talk about a big number, but I think that he obviously could be in the first game. It gets a little nasty early on, and they go with Shipley, and just to get him some attempts up. And so if I'm looking at anything, I think the rush attempts at 18.5 might be a little too high. Same thing on Javonte Williams. I would look at both rushing attempts to go under on both those guys.
All right, let's flip it over now to the receivers. And obviously, when you're talking about A.J. Brown and C.D. Lamb, Zeno, these guys are absolute stars. They are. They both are high-paid guys. CD got his bag previous, so he's happy. No issues there. What do you make of any of these numbers?
I think it's a very short number for CD Lamb when it comes to his receiving yards. Now, in reality, he's only had 2 100-yard receiving games against the Eagles in his career. So they've done a good job at shutting him down. But the target should be there. The requisite targets needed should be there. He averages 8 targets a game. So I would also look to the receptions more than the yards because, again, even if it's underneath, they'll take the ball in CD's hands any way they can get it.
There's no question about that. I think tonight, DG, I love what Zeno just said. I would look at also, I think he'll get to 7 because I think they'll overcompensate for George Pickens at least on night number 1. Do you agree with that statement?
I do, but 7 is so much. And at some point, they're going to make sure they play somebody over the top. And no matter what he can run through a slot, I don't think that they're able to get him 7. I do think the longest reception is there because he can get loose in the middle and kind of gobble up some of those yards. I think over the 23.5 for CD, it's just sitting there, just ready for us because you got to look on the other side with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Both guys can hurt you. I don't know which direction they go. Does it matter if you pick one and the other goes off, or do you pick both? That's where I'd be confused. So I would go and lean on CD to go over the longest reception.
Zeno.
Last 5 times CD has played against the Cowboys, he's had double-digit targets.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
They know they have to get it to him. Now, again, how much does George Pickens affect things on the other side of the field? Maybe that's part of it. But Pickens seems to be the street guy down the field, and CD would work a lot underneath. We'll see how the Cowboys deploy them both. It's yet to be seen.
It's going to be fascinating, isn't it, though, Zeno, DG, just to see, because nobody's talked about George Pickens the entire offseason. They made the trade because he's so immature, and we've seen him with the Steelers, DG, be completely immature. If they can get him on the right mindset, this could be the steal of the century.
Well, if you go back and look at that Steelers team, they don't love to throw the ball like the Cowboys do. I think you have to play into the ego of a George Pickens and say, hey, this is an open offense. If you're available, if you're open, I'm going to get you the ball because Dak will throw interceptions 100%. Because of that, I think Pickens is really going to be really good in this offense.
Zeno, 20 seconds. How does Dallas actually win? Take the spread out of it. How can they win this game tonight?
They got to play with a lead. They can't get themselves in a hole where they have to throw because the Eagles can pin their ears back and rush them. I think that's honestly where they have to keep this within 1 score the entire time. And I'll add this real quick receiver-wise. I would take George Pickens to get anytime touchdown over CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has only scored in 3 of his 9 games against the Eagles in his career.
Boom. 15 seconds, DG. I love that stat. What about you? How does Dallas win?
Yeah, they have to establish the run, but also they have to learn how to play and throw to the shorts. And so if they can establish, the short line of scrimmage, I think they can win this game.
All right. Very, very good. Gentlemen, well freaking done on day 1, breaking down our night 1 game, Cowboys and the Eagles. Plenty more on this game coming up this afternoon on weekday wagers at 2 p.m. Eastern time. All right, coming up on the other side, it's time to pick our Super Bowl winners. Where are my guys going? You'll hear from everybody. It is Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, right here live on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. All right, we continue on, you degenerates, on our YouTube page. So much stuff is going on in the world. Oh, you guys hear that? Oh, my alarm was going off in my house. I was like, oh my God, somebody's breaking into my house. It's actually my daughter. I will scold her accordingly. Gentlemen, as we move into week number 1, let's start with you, Raphael. When it comes to a numbers perspective, with all of this stuff going on, how do you hone in on the 2 or 3 games that you like the most?
Well, it's week 1. I try to relax. We have 17 weeks to bet football. Don't throw it all on week 1. Just some key games and just relax on week 1 because there's some week 2, there's week 3, week 4. Don't blow all your wad on just 1 week.
Yeah, do not blow that wad. Zeno, your thoughts?
Look, I tend to agree with Raphael. I don't like to talk about another man's wad. But that said, it's probably wisest to just be very selective, right? I mean, establish a list of games that you like and then just start narrowing it down and crossing it off which ones that don't fit every piece of criteria that you're looking for. And 1 or 2 solid bets beats 4 or 5 just throwing spaghetti ants.
I am so guilty of that. I am so guilty. I love these 6 games. Let's play them because
let me tell you something. For all you parlay suckers out there, when you want one more and you think you need one more, you don't need
one more. DG, your thoughts?
Yeah, I look at the weather because people forget with these games, like there could be bad weather in certain areas because, it is hurricane season, especially down in the south. And so be very careful about the weather because, the wind, but also, any rain or anything could play a big, big factor. And we forget about being outside again with the NFL.
Yeah, we're working on those graphics. I just couldn't fit all the arrows in. They get a little complicated. Young Peyton, your thoughts?
Fade the Saints. Fade the Saints. Whoever they're playing, oh my goodness, just take the opposing team.
I love the Saints in week 1.
No,
you love the Saints in week 1?
Kyler Murray should never be laying 6.5 on the road to anybody.
That is true. That is true. We'll be live Sunday at 10 a.m., by the way. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coach and company. What a vibe. What a good day. What a positive day. This is what sports is all about. I've never understood people that don't have sports as a part of their life. A quick reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button on your way in. It really helps the show grow. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do that as well. Coming up top of the hour, it's the Coach and Bro Show as we continue our 2 full hours here on Stadium and Valley Sports Live. Now, I thought about going with the Angel Reese apology at this point of the show, but I thought, let's not do that. Let's do something a lot more fun, like pick our Super Bowl winners. I need to see my entire crew. There they are. Now, this is going to be on video. This is live. You can't walk it back. This is what you're standing on for the next 5 months. So, Zeno, I'm going to start with you. Who is your Super Bowl champion?
Can I defer to the second half and let everybody else?
No. Got to give it to me right now.
Let's go Buffalo. Bills win it.
Buffalo. Okay. Any reason why as my daughter walks in and gets yelled at for the alarm on the house? Go Chiefs! Yeah! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Clock it. I told you I'd get it on the show. That's what the kids do. They go, clock it.
No, go Chiefs. No.
I love you so much for that. Have a good day. Oh, my God. She's my senior.
Lap.
Okay. You want her to take a lap, too? Yes. All right. Young Peyton, let me come to you. Who's your Super Bowl champ?
I'm going with Buffalo, too. I mean, they got 5 primetime games, but the tough games they have on their schedule are at their place, which is a huge advantage, especially for them. They didn't lose it all at home last year. They were 5-4 on the road, 8-0 at home. Toughest games in their own building. Bill's going to be the number 1 seed. Can they get it done in the playoffs? I think they do this year.
I can't even believe you got the Raphael clap from Zeno on that one. All right, 2 Bills so far. Speaking of Raphael, who you got?
I don't want to be fined by someone in Miami, but we're going to 3-peat. We're having the Buffalo Bills play the Green Bay Packers. The MVP, Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers, but Buffalo beats them, and Bills Mafia finally get a Super Bowl trophy. I remember all those losses back in the day because I'm old.
DG.
We are not going 4-0. Coach, we're going to go with a plus 2,000 here.
What?
The San Francisco 49ers. I think that they're going to be back this season. The defense is going to be healthy again. The offense led by Brock Purdy and CMC in a fully healthy season. Christian McCaffrey runs wild with the MVP, and they win the championship.
Do you know why that would drive me insane?
Because
I got a bet.
Cheesy.
I got a bet with Big Cheesy. Damn. Oh, well, I can still win the bet and they can win the Super Bowl, but we don't want that to happen. We cannot have the 49ers win. All right, Mark Yamato, what do you got?
Let's bring a little sanity back to this conversation. I'm taking the Saints. I'm kidding. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. This is Josh Allen's year, okay? It's time for him. The window for him is closing, and he needs to make a push this year. They brought in Joey Bosa. I love the Bills this year.
Wow. All right, gentlemen.
Coach, you realize the Bills-Niners is the Chris Berman special. Every year for like a decade, he picked the Bills and the Niners in a Super Bowl. So
his office was always right next to it was like literally catty corner. I always used to say that's the closest I ever got to $5 million a year. Love Boomer. It's true. It was true. Golly. Oh, my goodness. Gentlemen, this is a bounce back year. And taking my fandom out of it, the Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl this year. Travis Kelce's lost 35 pounds. Patrick Mahomes is reinvigorated. He just shot a commercial with Lionel Messi. What else do you need? So, since 4 of you are going with the Bills, and 1 of you, I don't even know where you came up with the 49ers, we're going to come up with something because I cannot have this nonsense going on all year long.
Coach,
right.
Kels dropped 35 pounds and picked up 110 in dead weight.
We can't make fun of the boo thing. Can't make fun of the boo thing. All right, it's time. Day 1. Let's lock it in. Zeno, I just hope she gets through customs with her private jet down there in Brazil. That's the big issue that I'm looking at. And I know you're worried about it too. All right, Zeno, you know what? Let's start with you. Best bets, 10 seconds or less. Let's go.
Be more worried about Montezuma's revenge. Logan Alvin, over 4.5 Ks against the Rays, who have the second highest K rate against lefties since the All-Star break. And then Dallas, plus 5.5 in the first half. My old adage, if they ain't covering early, they ain't covering late. Dallas has got to be within a score in the first half if they have any shot at covering or winning the game.
That might be my best bet of the day, my favorite bet of the day. First half, Cowboys. Young Peyton, live from Dallas-Fort Worth. Go.
I'm going Saquon's rush yards because why wouldn't we take it? Dallas allowed the 4th most rush yards in the NFL last year, over 94.5. And we'll go back to the diamond. We're taking the Brewers with Freddie P on the mound at home. Could win the Cy Young this year.
Could be. DG, let's go.
Let's go the under on Jalen Hurts. We're going to under 18.5 completions. Hurts was just 14 of 20 in the only game versus Dallas last season. I expect that to happen again. And let's go on the other side of the ball. Kenneth Murray Jr. over the 8.5 tackles and assists. He was at the Titans last year. The linebackers feast versus the Eagles. It's a guarantee. Lock it in there, boys. Over 8.5 tackles and assists at plus 104.
Wow, a day 1 guarantee from DG. Plenty more on that coming up on weekday wages. All right, Raphael, bring us home.
We think the Cowboys, Eagles, both teams to score 20 plus points at minus 118. Last 9 meetings between these two teams, 7 have hit the over. And in baseball, Dodgers, Pirates, first 5 under 3.5 runs. Snell, Skeens, enough said. Saints, the Sunday game on Sunday. Take the plus 6.5. Books are telling me it's probably going to be 5.5 at kickoff. A lot of Saints money coming in.
Okay. Little hashtag, stay on your toes play right there. All right, our JTS play of the day. We need to cash 4 days in a row. Let's go.
We're going with the Golden State Valkyries, Janelle Salon, to get over 15 points and rebounds. The Valkyries can close out their playoff spot tonight. Look for her to have a big game. And we're going to pair that with Saquon Barkley. A little synergy between myself and King Lettuce. We're expecting just to get over 80 yards. Put them both together for plus 114. Just Stat Sports play of the day.
And I want you to be a part of what we're doing. Scan that QR code the first month, NFL 100, a single solitary $1. And you get all of the edges that they have over there at JTS. All right, at the end of every single show, we try to make you a little bit smarter. Raphael, what do we got today?
This is for my bestie DG. The Cowboys have covered the spread in each of their last 6 road openers against NFC East opponents. This number is way too high. Eagles win by 6.
I think 4 of those are the Giants.
That's true. Most of the time they have started against the Giants. All right, very quickly, we talked about our Super Bowl winners, but tomorrow we're going to run this back. We've got the Chargers and the Chiefs in Brazil heading into the weekend. So what is the game? I only need 5 or 10 seconds that you're most looking forward to this weekend. Zeno.
Buccaneers, Falcons. That's going to be a game that could have implications on winning the NFC South.
Absolutely. Peyton.
Ravens, Bills. I want to see how the Ravens play the Bills and hopefully finally beat them. That'd be nice.
No.
You're my Baltimore guy. Raphael.
I like Pittsburgh and the Jets. I want to see Aaron Rodgers going back to the Jets. What's this game going to look like?
Hey, it's just week 1. It's just week 1. Shut up, Aaron. DG.
I'm going to go Ravens and the Bills as well, and we might have a post-game show for that one, Coach.
Oh, wow. Maybe so. Marquee Model, talk to me.
2 words, Coach. Go Bolts.
Dead to me. Producer man, give me that one shot. Well done, boys. Well done. It's now time for you to go out into the world. But you don't need to go anywhere because coming up in 4 minutes, we're going to be right here talking everything pro wrestling. So there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man, Zeno, Young Peyton, Raphael, my numbers guy, DG, Marquee Model, and how about Producer Man? Stop it with the graphics. I'm simply the coach. This is Coaching Company, presented by Afterburn, live as always right here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. Have a great day.